Alright, so welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful and exciting tutorial, we're trying to explore the new Google Antigravity IDE, which is an agentic IDE. So let's see how it works, right? So we'll be trying to explore it from scratch. So the main idea behind the IDE is that it's a normal next generation IDE, which is built on VS Code, and then it consists of a normal code editor like VS Code together with an AI agent manager and previewer in which you can manage all your different models and agentic systems. And it also includes a browser together with a browser extension. So these are the main components of this Antigravity IDE. So let's see how it works and how to work with it. So I'll go back again to my antigravity.google, and I will try and then install it, right? So just go to download for Windows, and then we can see the different ones, right? So I'm on 64 bits. I'm going to install it. I'm downloading it from scratch, and then you install it on your system. So this is very new. As of today, it came yesterday. So we are trying to see if we can install it and run it. So it will take some time for it to download the entire stuff, right? And then we install it. So it has the normal VS Code like IDE, right? Together with the normal Chrome browser together, mesh together. So just finish. So let me install it. Yes, I accept. We are supposed to read it, but we don't read it. So I'll just go with yes, next. Then let's start with it. So let's create a desktop icon, and let's add this one also. Let's go back. What is this? Okay, perfect. I wanted to read it to know. Then I'll just go with install. So it's going to install it on our system, and then you will see how it works, right? So this is very cool. Now we have another alternative. So there is Cursor, there is Z, there is Cursor, as everybody know, Cursor ID, which is this one, right? And then there is Z, which is this one, and then there is Windsurf, right? Windsurf. So yeah, which is good. So we have Cursor, Z, Windsurf, and now we have the new one in town, Antigravity. So that's finished. It's installing, and later on in the future we'll try and see and compare them, right? How it works. So a simple overview of the documentation shows that the IDE has the option to support multiple models. So the current one that you have is Gemini Pro, and then it can support different models. There is also the option to search for MCP servers and to add your own. And there is an artifact in which you can have a workthrough and a knowledge base. So there is a knowledge, like something like a knowledge base, and there is also a walkthrough. And it has a very nice feature with the artifact and the walkthrough in which you can actually see what the agent is doing, which is cool, right? Something like a debugger to see what it's doing. So let's see, that's finished. Let's go with launch, and it's going to ask you for your Gmail account, because at least they need a place to get your credentials. So let's go with allow, because it's Google. Everybody trusts Google. Then we go with next, then start fresh. So you can import from VS Code, or you can import from VS Code, or you can just start from fresh, or in case you are using Cursor, right? So I'll just go start from fresh. I'll choose the dark theme, and I'll go to next. Then you can just go with these four options. So we have agent driven development, there is agent assistant development, which is recommended. So you give instructions, the agent assists you, and then you can work on it. Then review driven development and custom configuration. And the terminal execution policy, we have several of them. We have auto, we have off, we have turbo. Auto means that it will ask you some questions. Then the review policy is that the agent decide whether to continue or to ask you. So always proceed in case you don't want any interruption, but agent decide is also very useful. And then request review in case you want to let the agent tell you before you to view it before, right? So let's keep it as agent decide, and then let's go with use the allow list for the browser. Then the bindings, I'll keep it as normal. Then now you need to sign in. So this is going to tell you to sign in, so I'm going to sign in, and you can see from here it's asking me from this. You can see my browser history. Okay, so now I'll just be signing in. It will just ask for your sign in stuff, so I'll just use the one I already signed in, which is I'll sign in outside already. I already did yesterday on a different system, but I will just sign in. And then yep, so let's try it again. Yep, and then next. So it's asking for two-factor authentication, so I'll just pick my phone just to allow it. Yep, yeah, because it's more secure with that. And then yes, it's me. Yep, so now it's going to ask you, right, to sign in. So ask you some questions, which is here. I'll show you the question. So this is the question it's asking. So make sure that you download the app from Google. Yes, sign in. Then it's going to sign in, right? So open Antigravity, and then it's going to use this one to open it, right? So it's going to give you this information. Yes, I allow. No, I don't. You can't, but I don't want to collect information. They have enough information about me. And then perfect. So this is how it looks like. Very interesting, very nice. So we have the normal plane, right? So we have the Antigravity plane. So open agent manager to manage. You can clone a repository. These are the things I'm working on. You can check out this app. It's coming on Play Store later on. It's going to be interesting. And then you have the agent view, in which you can see the planning, the different modes. Then you can see from here we have, let me make it bigger. We have different models. You can, let's dismiss. Then you can select, by default is using Gemini 3 Pro, which came yesterday. And then there's Claude Sonnet 4.5, and then there's GPT OS, which is very cool, right? And then you can also add some images, mentions, workflows in case you want to add some context to it, which is cool. So this is the basic workflow, right? The basic user flow. And you see that we have the open browser view, right? As I said, it has a browser. Then let's go to the settings. So I go to the settings, then you can see the various things, but there is one nice thing. As I said, it is similar to VS Code. So you see that all the various things, the entire user interface looks like VS Code. You can go to the settings to see the installed extensions. So these are all, in case you want to search for something, you can actually search for. We go with Python. So that it has all the various extensions, right, that we have. So I can install Python. Yes, I trust this. Everybody likes Python. And then let's go for Rust. So we go with a Rust analyzer, and it's the package, right? So you can see that it has the same support for VS Code, right? So you can install the various VS Code tools, right? Cool. And there is one nice thing is that if I go to, yeah, okay, we have the Rust analyzer. Let's install it. Yes, I trust it. Perfect. Now, so everything looks perfect, just as we would have done, right? Then let's go back to here, right? So you can start a conversation, and then let's close this one. Yeah, I'll close this. I can open a folder and start a conversation. Let's try a new one. I'll go back to, I have so many things here. Apologies. Let's go to my JLab 2025, and then AI agent, right? So I want to create a new tutorial, a new one called Antigravity tweets, right? Then we move into it, right? So here I'll just select this tutorial. There's nothing here. Yes, I trust it. So it starts open, and now we can see the AI features, right? So one moment, the agent is preparing. It has identified the context here, and now I can just give it an instruction. So we want to create a mini app in Flux. No, not less. Yeah, Flux for Cypher. Can select. We want to select forms of Cypher and Cypher, right? we want to input. I can make it better, but like we want to just input a test and get the cipherized or whatever. Let's see if it will be able to work. So now I'm using Gemini 3 Pro, and it's trying. You can see from here it's thinking. That is a nice thing. It gives you the step it's taking, and it's giving you information. Then it's telling you that it's analyzing, so it's got access to this location. Then you can see the thought process that it's doing, and it's telling you exactly what it will be doing, which is very cool, right? So far as it's telling you what it's doing, it's very cool. And you can see the implementation. This is interesting. Right. Okay, so these are the goals. Okay, now as I mentioned, right, we asked it to tell us the instructions. I can go to the review, submit a review. I can tell it to proceed. So this is the implementation of what you want to do, as you can see from here. So the planning, so the implementation. If I click on this, you see the different tasks that it's supposed to do. So this is the implementation plan. So the goal description, the things it's supposed to do. Okay, this is interesting, right? Now let's proceed and see. So now it's going to proceed. So it's just giving us all these ciphers that it's going to be using. And it's asking permission to use my terminal. So yes. Yes, it's proceeding. Oh, this is quite interesting, right? The future of development is interesting and cool. Let's dismiss this. Yeah. So these are all the plans that it was going to do, right? So it's going to create these functions, then it's going to create the routes together with the template that is planning of using, then the static files it will use, the scripts, JavaScript, and then some tasks, right? And then it's doing it in parallel. So there are different tasks. So this is going on. You can see the number of tokens it's using. Yeah, this is quite cool. Then you can see the artifacts in the conversation. So these are the artifacts I mentioned about, right? So it has the different tasks, and it is smart in such that it gives a task of the different workflow that it will be taking, right? So this is the task, right? So that it will check it. So creating a plan, perfect. Then the step-by-step, it will set up all the various things it will do, and then the implementation, and then the implementation for the backend, for the front end, and then the verification, which is very good, right? So at least the system itself is tracking what it's going to do, right? So let's see. So accept the command, and then it's going to continue. So you can see that it created the files, quite interesting, together with the code, which is quite cool. Wow, this is very nice, together with the cipher. Later we will explore them. And it's still working, right? So I can just accept. So create the front end. Then it's going to create the templates for the front end. Then let's check again what it's doing. So I'll go down here. So it's trying to work on the HTML. It's creating it. And you see the instructions, right? So this pane is very interesting. At least it gives you information of whatever it's doing. Let's accept these changes. You have to always read, right? Always read. Okay, this is good. And then, okay, this is also good. The name can be better. Process is too broad. You can give it a better name. Okay, so this is a very simple application, as you can see. And you see that the progress update, whatever it did, you can see it here, right? And then now it's giving you the option to run. So let's say accept. Now it's going to run it. I don't know whether it's using a sandbox, right? It's a user action required. I don't know whether it's using a sandbox. So it's running, and you can see preview, right? So you can also preview it in a browser. So let's go with setup. So it's launching the browser, and then this is my Chrome browser. Automatically, of course, it will use Chrome, and then to ask you for the extension to install. So let's go with install extension. Let's open it here and add to Chrome. Add, and by the let's go. Yeah, now. So agent needs your input. Yes. So return to agent. So let's go back to my agent, which is here. And then let's see whatever they want it to do. Yeah, always allow. Yeah, yes, good. Always allow for now. And then it's going through the steps. And instead I have successfully, and it's testing, right? This is quite interesting. So let's see if the browser is working. Okay, this is quite cool, right? This is cool. This is very nice, right? It's super nice. So it's reading the page. Agent needs input. Okay, let me go back to here. I think it's better if they add maybe a sound, right? Apart from the test, they can add the option to add a sound that you know that there's a notification. And this is saying, okay, let's confirm. Okay, so this is whatever is going to be doing here. Okay, this is quite interesting. Then process. Okay, this one worked perfectly well, so it needs my input again. Confirm. Then let's see. Okay, this is rotating ABC. It's working. Okay, this one looks good, right? You see, you have it's clicking. So agent needs your input. So let's go back again. I think this is good, very cool, but it's better sometimes you have some notification, right? Man, the future is interesting. It's good we were born in this century. Cool, that's nice. We thank God. Okay, so it is finished. So let's confirm again. Now it's testing all of them, but my concern is, okay, this one failed. So this one failed, right? So it's able to do all of these things, which is very cool, right? You can be interacting with it if you want, right? But as you can see, it is working perfectly well, right? That's quite nice. So it seems that it's testing all the various things. So we can go back again to the plan. So the plan to see what it's doing. Remember that we had a plan. So if I go back to the task, so these are all the tasks it's supposed to do, and you can see that it's marking itself, right? It's created this, it marked itself, whatever it did, it's marked it, and it's even running the application and verifying Cypher's work, right? Which is very cool. And this is the walkthrough that's finished. And once it's finished, it's giving us a Walkthrough.md, and then you can see the walkthrough. So I've successfully created the Flask Cypher app, cool, together with these ciphers. And then, man, the Gemini 3 Pro is useful. It's very good. Give us a test. It tested all of them and it passed. And then it gave us the record. Okay, here's a recording of the verification process. I can click on review. So it's generating a recording. So I think it's going to keep a screenshot of this entire stuff, and then it will be shown here. Okay, that's cool. And then we have the walkthrough, which is very useful. Now we can accept all of them, and you can also review the changes if you want, right? So you can review the changes if you want, and then you can commit them. Perfect. So that is very nice tool. Let's go to the agent view, and this is the welcome to the agent manager, in which you can manage multiple agents. So we saw it here, right? We saw what it was doing, all the different background steps that it was doing, the application that is running, reloading. This is still part of the walkthrough, in which it's trying to generate the recording, this particular recording, right? And let's go back again here. You can see the workspace, what I did, which was the mini app, together with all the instructions that was done, which is quite useful. And then we also have, we can add another workflow. There's also a playground, and there is the knowledge piece, in which you can get agents, right? Agent has not generated any knowledge items. Then we have the browser, in which you can see the browser, you can see if it's working. Very cool. And then we also have one for the MCP. I think there was one for the MCP agents. So if I go back again to the settings, we have these. There was one, I think I saw there is MCP. Of course there's supposed to be MCP. Let's close this, and then let's go here. I know there is supposed to be MCPs. Okay, this is one. Okay, these are the menu. We are just exploring, right? Okay, there's the full mode, and then quick, let's close this. Yes, this is where I saw it, right? So we have the MCP. So there's MCP. There is no MCP. Okay. Oh, so you can do a mention, which is quite cool. Okay, you can do a mention and then you specify the MCP that you want to use. This is interesting. Yes, this is the place I was looking at. So you see that we have MCP servers in which you can search for different MCPs. So we see that we have GitHub, Neon, Stripe, Redis. In case you have a Redis store, we have Notion, we have Linear, very useful, very powerful stuff. Perplexity As, which is also here. Superbase, Prisma, very cool, right? Let's see if we have sequential thinking. What is sequential thinking? That is quite interesting. Let's see this, right? You can ask Perplexity, then you can install the MCP server. So let's install it. Or you need the Perplexity key. Okay. Linear is also very useful. So install Linear. Linear is a very powerful tool. So that is a simple overview of our agentic anti-gravity IDE. I think I like it. It's very useful, right? So this is it, right? So this is the MCP for Linear. And then, so let's go to approve. Then it needs your credentials for Linear, right? Very cool. Very nice. So thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you have learned something. This was just me exploring this nice tool from Google, and you're able to build a very simple application. You're able to explore how the IDE works, and then with time you'll be trying to build more cool and exciting things. Thank you for watching. See you another time. Stay blessed. Bye. Wait, let me ask it to add some tests. Let's go back to the Flags mini app here, and then let me ask, can you add unit tests for our application using PyTest, right? We want to use PyTest. We want to add a unit test to it because an application should always have a unit test. So this is going to think, it's going to prioritize, it's going to give us the walkthrough, and then you see what it's going to do, right? So this is the plan. I like the idea that it gives you the walkthrough of what it's going to do, the implementation plan, which is here, right? In which you can see the task, whatever it's going to do. So it added the testing to the application, and then it's going to give the implementation. So you can see from here the implementation, how it's going to do that, or the different tests, then proceed with the implementation. So it's very useful to read the implementation, right? And that is very nice. So like you're working hand in hand. That's why it's agent assisted development. So like the agent asks you questions, you proceed, and then it goes on. So always proceed, agent decide, request review. Okay, let's go with accept. Let's run the test to see if it's working. Okay, this is good. Then let's proceed with the test. Okay, so the test passed, right? Now we have our test files here, which is here. So let's accept. And then let me see if I can run this by myself. Let's run it. So it's telling me what it did. And then, but I'm surprised it did not create a VNV. So how is it running it? That's the problem, right? It's running it directly, but it did not create a VNV. If you go back to the implementation, not the implementation, but there was the task side, it's specified what it was going to do. If I go up here, where is it? Inside the task, right? It said that it will create a virtual environment, but it did not do it, right? So you see that it left this one out. That's why we don't have it. So you have to just virtual env. I'll create one for myself, and then I'll okay, this is quite interesting. Yes. And then let's see. But I'm surprised that it did not create one, right? So VNV script activate, then interesting, it's partial. So VNV script activate .psl. Still not getting to have to switch. This thing is always interesting. Let's switch, and then VNV script activate. Yeah, then pip install Flux. Yeah, and that's the only thing we need. And PyTest, right? But I'm surprised of how it's able to work, right, without creating a VNV. Maybe I already have some of the packages there. And then pip install PyTest, right? Let's install the various things that we need. Let's see if it gives us everything. Okay, so that's finished. Number of thoughts. And I like the idea that it's telling you what it's doing, but this is spending more tokens. And I'm not sure if these things are collected somewhere, if there's a telemetry that you can view all the things that have been done within your workflow, right? That would be a nice feature, at least something like logs. Oh, okay, you can do this. I didn't know. Yeah. And then let's go with my, that's good. So thank you for watching. See you another time. Stay blessed.